Welcome back. Told you I'd be back. It's a new day, and let me explain what I'm going to do here. I'm going to, I took that brush off. I'm going to put it back. I'm going to make sure all the brushes are adjusted. These grid bars are adjusted correctly, and make sure that everything in here is set right so that it will strip cotton or clean cotton the best. And so this is called the burr extractor. The brushes are in decent shape. I'm going to keep running those, but try to explain a little bit on how a cotton stripper works. So obviously cotton comes in through these row units. I've showed you some of that, but as the cotton gets come in and it gets brought to the middle of the machine, well, let me show you. First, let me go down and show you how the cotton gets to this point. All right, so it all starts here on the ground. Cotton obviously goes in the rows into these row units. And so as the stalk comes in here, there are two brush rolls here, alternating. They spin towards each other. And they act, that's why it's called a stripper, because they strip the cotton off of the stalk. I've got these tolerances a little tight, so I'm gonna open these up a little bit since I put new brushes on. But we've got brushes. We've got bats. Obviously the bats are rubber. They're a little bit more aggressive than the brushes. So they alternate, and you always want to make sure there's a brush next to a bat. So you're not going, if you go too aggressive on that process there, then you have a chance to strip bark off the stem, which gives you a bad grade at the gin. So we don't want bark grades. So setting these is important at the right distance. Too aggressive, you're gonna pull bark. Too wide, you're gonna leave cotton. So as that strips off, then it gets thrown into this auger over here. These augers bring the cotton to the top, and then you remember the big auger, cross auger in the middle. It brings all the cotton to the middle of the machine, and then that's when the air takes it up, pulls the cotton up into the cleaner. And so we'll go back up there now. Okay, so here's the middle, and there's the big chute. That the fan that's back in near the engine is sucking this air and pulling the cotton up and underneath the cab and up this chute here. Okay, so some of the lighter stuff will probably flow into the basket, but everything that's heavier, it's got the burrs, it's going to drop down into here. And so the cotton comes down, see, up there, and these beater bars just kind of beat it up and try to kind of maybe if it can knock some burrs out, just kind of making sure it doesn't clump up. So that's happening right there. And then the cotton gets into the saws. And so the saws will catch the cotton, and as that brings it around, the brushes and these bars are helping to try to knock those burrs off. And so some of these burrs will get knocked off and they'll fall down, and they'll get down to the burr extractor, which is this auger, which just kicks them off to the side. And so we have two saws. We have two chances to catch this cotton. So the other cotton will get caught on these saws, and they're turning towards the camera. And then on the back side, which I can't really show you right now because the basket is in the way, there's another set of brushes that is rubbing against those saws and pulling the cotton that hopefully has most of the burrs released, pulling it back to the back side where this fan down here is again blowing and pulling that cotton into the basket. So it kind of comes up and falls down in here, gets cleaned, and then hopefully gets picked up back here and thrown up there. So anything that's not set right, if I have these tolerances set too wide, then I'm going to get more trash in the basket. And if I have them set too tight, then I will throw cotton out the burr extractor, which I don't want to do either of those things. So I'm going to get those set as the book shows. I've got some spacer tools somewhere. So I've got two of these things. One side's thicker than the other, and so I will use those to set this distance right here. So that's a little bit wide. So I'm gonna adjust those. Well, sometimes I think I have ADD. I'm getting distracted, but that was bothering me. This is bent a little here, so I don't know if I can do much about it, but I'm going to try something. So I got is the word I'm looking for. See if I can't straighten that out just a little bit. Let's see if that did anything. So that definitely looks better, but there's a crown right here, so I don't know if I have the ability to do much of that, but I at least can get this part straightened out like that on these other kind of sections. All right, status update. I'm in a tight spot and I can't really show you much, but Dad helped me get this gap right here kind of straightened out. Got this brush set, got these 4 bars set. Use these spacing tools to tell you. So these top ones were that bigger spacing, and the bottom ones were the smaller, and it's just trial and error. So now I'm down here in this spot that's really tight, and I can't get my shoulders in here very good. And so I've got 4 bars now to try to set the spacing on. And the problem is that one is really good. This next one is tight. The one after that is tight. And the one way underneath is perfect. But there are 3 bolts to loosen, and I don't know if there's any way possible to keep the top 2 right and the middle 2. So I think if I do anything, I'm going to change the outside 2. I think they're kind of like antagonists. Like if this one goes in, the bottom one goes out, and vice versa. So I don't know. I may have to leave it, but I can't really show you because I can barely fit in here. See? Barely fit. All right, now I gotta get this brush in here, and it might be a 2-person job, but I'm going to try it by myself. We'll see how it goes. All right, got that brush in. I think it's good. So, got that done. Grid bars are done. Brushes are good. I had a broken saw somewhere here. Gotta find that and get it replaced. Okay. Next thing I gotta do is replace some of these. Where are the worst ones? Oh, right here. See how the head's just almost gone on some of those? So I'm gonna replace those. I might can do that myself better than I thought. I thought I was gonna be able to get to, well, these here in the middle I can't. But see how the head's just, she gone. All right, there's that broken saw. Magnets are great until they stick to everything else, but can you see the difference? There's the start of it, and then it's broken. So I think I can do this without much effort, hopefully. And hopefully the rest of them are good, but I'm gonna try to take this off in pieces and put the new one on. All right, so there's a broken one. And there's some new ones. So they were just broken. You saw that they were. So I got 2 to put on. I found another one that was broken. Hopefully that's it. So we get those put on. It's a little bit tricky, but doable. And then I'm just gonna go through and check them all, make sure there's not, like you see that tooth right there is, sorry my light's gone dead on my headlight, but right there there's a tooth that's gone sideways. So I'm gonna bend those back over also. Use my Milwaukee hammer. No matter what I do, I always have to go up and down and get lots of tools, so I can't grab that. It's just too sharp on the back end, so I'm gonna get the pliers, I guess. If getting tools, or forgetting tools and having to make multiple trips was a sport, I believe that I would do really well at that sport. Oh man, that was not necessarily one I was going to replace, but I guess I am now. I did mean to do that actually, but I thought I was doing these ones on the far side. Actually, those are okay, I think. I don't know. I'm just gonna do a couple more. Well, I replaced the worst of them. They were the ones, especially the... Well, my camera died, but you'll be proud of me. Today's the same day. I had my batteries charged, had backup, so I'm getting better at this thing. Just took me a couple years to know how to run this YouTube channel properly. So I'll climb back up here again to show you, because I'm really good at climbing stairs, ladders. I got everything that I had already used. I'm just gonna start over because I can't talk. I replaced all the ones that I had. I didn't have enough to do all of them because they're super expensive, but these were worse in the middle and some on the sides. There's not a ton of head left on some of these, so I may get some more, but I think it'll make it. It'll make it through the season. I'm almost positive of that. These just get the most wear because the cotton comes straight up here, and these other ones are protected from these fingers. So anyways, that's a good start, and then I can get some more if I want to now or later. I don't know if I showed you, I put this slow moving triangle thing on there because it's a slow moving vehicle, just like that one. Also put these spring clamps on the bottom, just like that one, because that's how we tarp it. We raise the door up a little bit, we put the tarp on those three, and then we raise the door, and then when you pull off the tarp, the module builder pulls the tarp on top for you. It's a lot easier than trying to do it with a ladder and all that. It just takes time in the middle of the season, or in the middle of stripping, but I think it's worth it because it's not as fun to go back and tarp and all that. So I did that a few days ago. What else did I do? Put those lights on, got it all wired up. I just finished this yesterday. I ran the cord for the lights to here, tied that one in. I hope you're not saying that. Tied that light in, it all works. And wired this trailer plug so we have lights all the time. And then I wanted to put a switch on it, and so I did that yesterday. So got a switch, And so we should be good. Yesterday we tightened this gauge up. There was the nut was missing on the back side of that bottom one, so thinking that's probably why that was leaking. Makes sense if there was no nut to keep it tight. I'm trying to get some oil ordered to be able to drain this. New filter I already got. We're gonna have to drill a hole into the tank to put that sensor in that does an automatic shut off that ties into the system, just like Dad has right here. It's identical to that. So that'll be good. But what else? Got to put new seals in the pump. Got those, just got to do it. And there's some pins. The pins that lift this, there's some, I'll just show you. So when Ricky and I were going to get the builder, we had to get it in transport mode. So on this one, the transport mode is the cylinder stop. You let it down on that and you're safe. This one doesn't have a cylinder stop. It has a pin that goes in. Well, you can't see it very good right here, but there's the pin and it goes in right there. Well, we had a heck of a time and we got it in there finally, but there's some, we think there's some slop in these pins right here, which is making, if I can show you this or not. Yeah, I think so. Okay, look right in here and then down there below it. You see a groove in the metal? That is definitely rubbing, and so the builder doesn't lift up evenly like it should, because it's binding as this piece right here slides down in this slot. That's what the pin is supposed to go in that hole, and it goes right over the top of that. It keeps it from coming up. But once it gets down in there, it's obviously binding and eating that metal away on both sides. That wheel side and this. And so we're thinking there's some slop in those pins. So eventually I'm going to get the sprayer unhooked. I think I'm going to go ahead and clean the nozzle so it's ready for whatever. Get that sprayer unhooked, hook it to the builder, get this up on block so I can get the wheels off, and maybe when there's no pressure we can get those pins out and see if there is wear, and if there is, get new ones, and hopefully that will resolve that. So it's all stuff. We got time, but just need to keep trucking these projects along. All right, the thing I actually came to do is up here, kind of high. Don't really like heights that much, but you know, got to do what you got to do. Let me get up here to you without falling or losing my tool. Oh, my knees. Hello, I'm coming up. Oh. It's pretty tall up here in the builder. All right, so, dang it, I'm on the wrong side. Well, what I saw the other day when I was up here is that there's a light. See that light over there? It's not used, nor is it really useful. I was just going to take it off. I don't know if I can reach it, but I'm going to try. Well, I got it. I got everything but the lock nut. You know, casualty of war. So, that's all. Found you. I set your camera down somewhere and I had no idea where it was. I finally found it. I'm going home. It's a late lunch again today. I'm gonna try to take Denton hunting, try to get a deer or a pig, just something. We're not really set up a lot of our land for hunting, but I got a buddy that's gonna let us hunt. There's today. So we're gonna go do that. So I gotta get home. I'm gonna try to pick him up from school a little early. Don't tell anybody. It's not a secret, but that's what we're gonna do, because we gotta get out there before the feeder goes off. And last year I think we got out there too late. So a couple things I gotta get done still. I told you, a little bit close, so I moved them out a little bit. They're still a little tight. So I'm gonna move those bats and brushes, or those rollers, out just a little bit further so that we don't get bark in our cotton. So I'll do that tomorrow probably. Maybe try to get the sprayer cleaned, unhooked. Got to get our camper out. We're gonna go camping this weekend. We're going to Quartz Mountain, Oklahoma. It's a really cool place. You should go check it out. It's one of ours and our friends' kids' favorite. So we're going back. And so I'll just keep doing stuff and you just keep watching stuff, and we'll just keep trucking along. we'll get some, eventually it will dry enough to do something in the field, but that is not today or for a while. But we're thankful for the rain, and we'll just take what we can do day by day. So thanks for watching, and if you're gonna farm it.